Did you know that Joe Rogan, the world-renowned podcaster, is also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Yes, folks, our man of the hour, the charismatic Joe Rogan, is not only a master of the spoken word, but also of the martial arts. Now, for those of you who might be scratching your heads wondering, who is this Joe Rogan? Let me enlighten you. Joe Rogan, born and bred in New Jersey, is best known for his incredibly popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. With his candid conversations and insightful interviews, he's won the hearts of millions around the globe. But there's more to Joe than just his podcasting prowess. Rogan's passion for martial arts began at a young age, and he's since earned black belts in both Taekwondo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So not only is he a master of conversations, but also of martial arts. Now let's dive into his journey. Born on August 11, 1967, Joe Rogan did not have an easy childhood. He was born into the hustle and bustle of Newark, New Jersey, an urban environment that certainly had its fair share of challenges. But it was here, amid the concrete and steel, that the seeds of Joe's future were sown. Life was far from a bed of roses for young Joe. His parents divorced when he was just 5 years old, a tumultuous event that would set the stage for his upbringing. But even in those early years, amidst the uncertainty and change, there was one thing that remained constant, a spark, a drive within Joe that hinted at the extraordinary journey he was yet to embark on. As a child, Joe discovered an outlet for his energy and a source of personal discipline: martial arts. It was in the dojo that Joe found a sense of purpose, a focus that would carry him through the ups and downs of life. He was not just good at martial arts, he was phenomenal. Even as a young boy, he showed an uncanny knack for understanding the intricacies of the sport. It was clear even then that this was more than just a hobby for Joe. It was a passion, a calling. Despite the hardships, Joe didn't let the circumstances define him. He used them as fuel to drive him forward, to push him to be better, to strive for more. There was a fire in him, a spark of ambition, of determination, of resilience. He was a fighter, not just in the literal sense, but in the broader, more significant sense of the word. He fought for his dreams, for his ambitions, and for his future. From these early years, it was clear that Joe was not going to be ordinary. His humble beginnings, marked by struggle and perseverance, shaped the man he became, a man who would go on to become a household name, one of the most influential voices in podcasting, and a beacon of inspiration for millions around the world. At 14, Joe began practicing martial arts, starting with karate before moving on to Taekwondo. Now, this wasn't a casual hobby for Joe. Oh no, he was deeply immersed, dedicating hours of his day to perfecting his craft. His hard work and determination led him to win the U.S. Open Championship Taekwondo tournament as a lightweight. He was a force to be reckoned with, a veritable powerhouse, even becoming a Massachusetts full-contact state champion for 4 consecutive years. Joe's martial arts career wasn't just about the physical aspect. It was more than just punches and kicks. It was about discipline, about self-control, about finding a sense of balance. And Joe found a deep sense of satisfaction in that. He developed a laser-sharp focus that later served him well in his future endeavors. But as in any story, there came a turning point. Joe started experiencing frequent headaches. His body was telling him something, and he decided to listen. It was a tough choice, but Joe decided to hang up his martial arts gloves. He retired at the age of 21. This decision, while difficult, came from a place of self-awareness and self-preservation. Joe understood that he had to prioritize his health, even if it meant giving up something he loved. His decision to retire wasn't without its share of doubts and fears. Martial arts had been a significant part of his life, shaping his identity and his worldview. But Joe was not one to dwell on what could have been. He was a fighter, in the ring and in life. He understood that one door closing often means another one opening. So Joe moved forward, carving out a new path for himself with the same determination that had driven his martial arts career. His focus shifted, his goals changed, but his fighting spirit remained intact. His martial arts journey had come to an end, but it had prepared him for the next chapter of his life. Little did he know, this decision would take his life in a completely new direction. And as we'll see, this new direction was one that would lead him to become the Joe Rogan we know and admire today. After his martial arts career, Joe started working in comedy clubs in Boston, while also teaching martial arts. This was a time of exploration for Joe, a time when he was finding his voice, and comedy proved to be a great outlet for his sharp wit and unique perspective on life. His talents didn't go unnoticed. A few years into his comedy career, he made a bold move to Los Angeles, a city that's a mecca for aspiring comedians and performers. This was a big step, but Joe was not one to shy away from challenges. He took to the stage with the same determination he had shown in the martial arts arena, and soon he was a regular performer at the Comedy Store, one of the most prestigious comedy clubs in the city. But it wasn't just stand-up that Joe was interested in. He was a man of many talents, and he soon found himself working on television. Perhaps you remember him from the sitcom News Radio, where he played Joe Gorelli, a handyman with a love for conspiracy theories. Or maybe you remember him from the reality show Fear Factor, where he hosted daring contestants as they faced their worst fears. But while these TV gigs were surely memorable, they were just stepping stones in Joe's path. The real game changer came in 2009 when Joe started his own podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. At the time, podcasting was still a relatively new medium, and Joe was one of the early adopters. He started off just having conversations with his friends, but soon his podcast began to attract a large following. What made The Joe Rogan Experience stand out was its raw, unfiltered nature. Joe wasn't afraid to have in-depth conversations about controversial topics, and his listeners appreciated his honesty. It was a refreshing change from the heavily scripted and sanitized content that was common at the time. It was real, it was raw, and it resonated with people. This was just the beginning of his rise to podcasting fame. Joe Rogan, the martial artist turned comedian turned broadcaster, was just getting started. He was carving out a new path, one that would make him one of the most influential voices in the world of podcasting. In 2009, Joe launched the Joe Rogan Experience, which would soon become one of the most popular podcasts in the world. A decade down the line, the Joe Rogan Experience, fondly abbreviated as JRE, is a force to be reckoned with in the podcasting world. It's a melting pot of intriguing discussions and mind-bending ideas, a testament to Rogan's knack for stirring up conversations that are as thought-provoking as they are entertaining. The secret sauce? It's got to be the sheer variety of guests who've graced his show. From astrophysicists to MMA fighters, from comedians to politicians, the guest list reads like a who's who of contemporary culture. Each episode is a deep dive into the minds of these outstanding individuals, a journey that millions of listeners eagerly embark on, episode after episode. And let's not forget, each guest brings their unique flavor to the table. You've got Elon Musk pondering over the mysteries of the universe, Edward Snowden blowing the whistle on government surveillance, and Bernie Sanders talking about economic inequality. It's this diverse blend of perspectives that keeps the audience hooked, episode after episode, year after year. It's no wonder then that Spotify, the music streaming giant, saw the potential in Rogan's podcast. In the year 2020, they signed an exclusive agreement with the Joe Rogan Experience worth over $100 million. Talk about a jackpot. But it was more than just a financial win for Rogan. It was a validation of his efforts, a testament to his ability to captivate audiences worldwide with his unique brand of conversation. And the rest, as they say, is history. Today, the Joe Rogan Experience is more than just a podcast. It's a cultural phenomenon, a beacon of free speech, and a testament to the power of conversation in our increasingly polarized world. From a struggling martial artist to a successful comedian, and now the world's most popular podcaster, Joe Rogan's journey is a testament to his resilience and versatility. Joe Rogan's story is one of perseverance, adaptability, and continuous learning. In his journey, we've seen a man who started from humble beginnings, honed his craft as a martial artist, and then leveraged his skills to become a successful comedian and broadcaster. But he didn't stop there. Joe Rogan pushed the boundaries, embraced the digital age, and became the world's most popular podcaster. His story teaches us that it's never too late to learn, to adapt, and to conquer new frontiers. It's about not settling for less, but always striving for more. It's about investing in yourself, in your skills, your passions, and your dreams. So let Joe Rogan's story inspire you. Embrace your journey, persevere through challenges, adapt to change, and continue learning. Because when you invest in yourself, you're setting the stage for your own success story. Invest in yourself today and be successful tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this one.